Being in a combat zone is inherently dangerous. In addition to the risk of severe physical injury, traumatic brain injury, or death, service members face the possibility of significant psychological health problems, such as post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD, in reaction to intense emotional or traumatic experiences. PTSD can result from experiencing, witnessing, or being confronted with an event that involves actual or threatened death or serious injury, or threat to the physical integrity of oneself or others. Not everyone who experiences an intense emotional event like this will develop PTSD. However, almost everyone that experiences such an event has similar initial reactions to the trauma. Very often, the person's response includes intense fear, helplessness, horror, or emotional numbness. The person may feel quite fearful, anxious, or upset for days afterwards. They may have difficulty sleeping, difficulty concentrating, and difficulty calming down. They may have unwanted thoughts of the event that play over and over in their head. They may find themselves constantly on the lookout for danger. Over a matter of days or weeks, these reactions subside for most people. But for some, they get stuck in the natural recovery process that usually follows such an experience. These are they who are likely to be diagnosed with PTSD. The difference between those who go on to develop PTSD and those who don't is not a difference of intelligence, strength, compassion, or patriotism. Instead, what a person does, or rather what they don't do, following a traumatic event seems to have the biggest impact on whether or not he or she gets stuck in recovery. Our brains are hardwired to learn from our experiences. In the case of a traumatic experience, one thing your brain tries to learn is the relationship between cues and danger, and how to recognize and avoid danger in the future. This is usually a very healthy process. But sometimes our brains make associations between supposed cues and danger that are not accurate and not helpful. This is especially true when the situation is very emotionally intense. Many elements from the experience may become cues for danger for the person, whether or not those cues really indicate danger. In this case, they might include a marketplace, a smell, a crowd, livestock, military vehicles, building materials, or loud noises. Encountering these cues in the future may remind the person of the trauma, resulting in distress, anxiety, fear, vulnerability, and anger. In severe cases, the person may feel like almost everything they encounter reminds them of their trauma, or feels much more dangerous now than it used to.
Let's allow ourselves to get into that relaxation position by allowing your feet to sit flat on the floor, your knees and ankles uncrossed and bent at 90 degrees.